Hmm. QT. This is weird. Can you guys hear me? Hmm. I see a Roger. I see a yes. Shows that there's 3 people watching, 4 people watching, but I can only see Roger so far. Cool. What's up, guys? Say something in the comments if you can hear me. QT. I see Ellie. And who's this? Lolia? Cool. Alright, this is weird because you guys can hear me, but I don't hear anything. It's like, you ever put your headphones on and you don't hear anything? It's kind of like that. It's kind of weird. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? I see Mike Mitchell, Elizabeth. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to do this for like 25, 26 more minutes. So throw them at me. What questions you guys have? What up, Brad? I know, my pool is calling. You want to come swim? Like 6 o'clock? Yeah, why are we doing a live? We could be swimming instead. It's really nice out actually right now. So, I guess we'll wait a couple more minutes and see if anyone else comes on. I kind of thought this would happen. There'd be like 5 to 10 people, but it's cool. It's my first one. I'm just trying to learn it like everything else, right? Learn some Turo, learn some Airbnb. You're at work right now? Oh man, when do you get off? Cool. Well, what do you guys want to know? Heck yeah, Brad. Good seeing you earlier. Thanks for the hug. Off at 10. Dang, that's late. Oh, wow, we got up to 8 people already. Baptism in 15 minutes? That's today? Dang. 5:20. Cool. Well, anyone want to type in the comments what real estate questions you have? I'm typing. This is weird. Tell us how hard you have to work at what you do. Well, I love real estate because you can work as little or as much as you want to. There's people that do it part-time and they do 1 or 2 houses a year, and then there's people that work all the time and they do 1 or 2 a week, or more than that, or less than that, and everything in between. No question, just got on to see your smile. Oh, you're so sweet. um, yeah, so honestly, I've worked really, really, really damn hard in this business before, and I've barely worked at all in this business. And I think the way that I handle my finances has helped me have more freedom than the actual real estate itself. Because before I did real estate, I flipped cars, and before that, I sold stuff on eBay and Amazon, and and just if you can buy something for $1 and sell it for $1.50 and do that all day every day, like, you're making a profit. And I believe that profits are better than wages. So the way that I set my finances up is I keep my expenses as low as possible. I grew up really, really poor, and I learned to live on $800 a month, and then $1,000 a month, and then $1,500 a month. And then, of course, the more money you make, the more it goes up. But for the most part, my expenses are still less than $1,500 a month, and it makes it easy to survive, so you don't have to work that hard. So imagine you do a wholesale deal and you make $3,000. Back when I started, that was kind of the average fee, was like $3,000 to $5,000. Now they're much more, but if your expenses are $1,500 and you make $3,000, you're good for 2 months. So what if you have a really good deal and you make $12,000? You know, now you're good for many, many, many months, and then you just keep stacking that and build yourself a financial runway. So let me see, I have to scroll on this. I can hear you. Durka, durka, durka. It's not letting me scroll down. What's the best way to approach tired landlords? What's up, Alex? Moses! Best way to approach tired landlords. I don't know. I haven't marketed directly to tired landlords, but that's a really good idea. But I guess you would approach them the same way you approach any seller and ask them, why are they wanting to sell? You'd have to find out that they're tired in the first place, right? So I would ask them what property they're wanting to sell, and then I go through this like normal script with them, like, what can you tell me about the house? And okay, great. Why are you wanting to sell it? How fast do you want to sell it? Find out what their motivation is, and see if you can come up with a deal, and then lock it up. And I don't know. So everyone knows me as like a wholesaler, but I feel like the best way to even be a wholesaler right now, especially with the laws changing in November, is to become a buyer. Because if you're a buyer, you have a lot more exit strategies than just wholesaling. I feel like the gurus kind of make wholesaling look more pretty than it is, because yes, you can get lucky and do a deal here and there, but if you're a buyer, there's a whole lot more you can do when you lock a property up. You could rent it, you could buy and fix it, you could wholetail it, you could sell it on the MLS, you could turn it into an Airbnb. There's just a lot more that you could do with it. Let's see. What did Alex say? He said, what do you love about real estate? You know what? I feel like we're really lucky in Oklahoma City to have the people that we do. So what I love most about real estate is the people. When I started working, I was like 15 years old, and I had bosses that just kind of treated me like I was nothing. And even as I got older, I had a lot of bosses that made me do things I don't want to do. I had bosses that made me come to work when I didn't want to come to work, and there was nothing to do, and it was just like I was just getting paid to sit there, and I felt like that was a waste of time. So my goal in real estate was never cars and money and houses and stuff. My goal was to have my freedom and to reduce stress and to be able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And real estate has given me that freedom. So like I was saying about my finances earlier, like if you can set your amount that you need to live every month and then pay yourself that salary, and then just give yourself bonuses whenever you have a really good month. But whenever you have a really bad month, you're only paying yourself $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, so you're good for that amount of months. Of course, if you have kids and a family and all that, you can't live on $1,500, but let's say it's $3,000. If you live on $3,000 a month, just your bare minimum whenever you're scraping, because I don't know, then you make $9,000 or $15,000 on a wholesale deal or on a little flip, you're good for 3, 4, 5 months, right? So I feel like there's people that learn how to do real estate and they still don't know how to really like manage their finances. And I'm lucky that I I went to like real estate investor association meetings before COVID, and I learned from these people that were really good with their money, and they taught us how to get your house in order. Let's see. Do you have your scripts written down, or are you going by memory? Okay, so in 2016, I paid Tom Kroll $8,000, and I joined his program, and I did his coaching, and I went through all that kind of with a group, and then also one-on-one a little bit. And he gave us a script, and I kept that script in front of me like this, every single time I was on the phone, and I would kind of go through those questions, but you don't want to just read them because then it sounds like a script. You want to use them as kind of like a guideline. And but I did memorize it. I memorized the script, and I added to it, and I subtracted from it, and then some things just sounded too long. Like one of the questions was, if I could pay all cash and close quickly and there's no real estate commissions to pay, what would be the best price you would consider? And so I started taking out the real estate commissions part, and I would just say, hey, if I paid all the closing costs and we can get this done in the next couple weeks, what would be the best price you would consider? So there's bits and pieces that you take from it, and I don't feel like I'm that great of a teacher, or I don't know everything, but you can take little bits and pieces from me, and you can take little bits and pieces from people that you watch online. You can take bits and pieces from the people in our group, and take what you like and build your own philosophy and investing style, and the way that you even talk to sellers. I hope that answers that question. What deals are you looking for right now, Victoria? I'm looking for anything that has equity right now, honestly. I'm really excited about Airbnb. I've never done it before. I just closed on a condo last Thursday, and that's going to be the first Airbnb. But really, I'm looking for anything with equity. I have a rental under contract. I have a wholesale under contract. I have a couple flips, a lot of wholesales and wholetails. I just like doing deals and doing deals with friends. Like, if I could put a deal under contract and sell it and make $1,000 or $2,000, I'm happy. Like, there's been deals that I've partnered with people and I don't even know how much I'm making. Like, because I don't care if I make $2,000 or $15,000. I just want to have fun with you guys and hang out and do deals, you know? So Elliot asked, how many people do you have on your team? So I have had more of a team in the past. In 2017, that was my first six-figure year, and I hired an acquisition manager and a disposition manager, and I tried to run it like everyone else, and honestly, I've been afraid to have team members because my biggest fear is letting people down, and I've let myself down so many times, and some of you that know me really well know I kind of go on this roller coaster, and I don't want to be on the roller coaster anymore. So right now, I have an incredible, amazing assistant that I just hired. Today was our 10th day. And so I have her, and then she helps a lot with organization, and she's starting to do like transaction coordinating and keeping up with the to-do list, and like all the little things that I just don't have time to do or I have a mental block about doing, she does, and she's amazing. I have a realtor that is incredible that I work with. I have a couple attorneys. I have a few title companies that I work really well with. So like on my team specifically, it's just me and an awesome assistant. But I have subcontractors. I have people that do clean outs for me and little handyman work. I have incredible people in my life that make my life easy, but none of them really work for me. I don't have any W-2 employees. I have like 50 1099s in my folder, though, of just people that have done contract work for me and people that I've split deals with and stuff like that. But if you're just wholesaling and wholetailing, you really don't need that much. Like, my favorite way to make money is wholetailing. And I feel like I've learned a lot from that. I read a book by Jason Boozy, and it was called Smash Your Alarm Clock by Jason Boozy. And he said, stop being just a wholesaler. He said, be an investor. And you have a lot more exit strategies, and you can make a lot more money whenever you actually close on a house and get it in front of more people, and you can actually wait to find a buyer. And the market's changing all the time. Like right now, it's so hot. If you have a hot deal, I mean, you could sell it sight unseen immediately. That's what me and Alex do, right? And but a couple years ago when I started wholetailing, the reason I did it is because I was wanting to learn more, and I wanted to be more of a flipper. And then I found out TRRs suck, and it was just easier to just clean it, take professional pictures, throw it on the MLS, and make my wholesale fee that way. And also, I'm way too nice. I'm way too nice, and if you negotiate with me, I'm like, sure, I'll take a couple grand off, whatever. But if you put a realtor with it, and they're going to go highest and best, and there's going to be 3 people offering above asking price, then I don't even have to be nice. It's just business. So I love wholetailing. I love wholesaling. You don't need a big team. Okay. Expand a little on wholetailing, please. Wholetail. So there's wholesale deals and then there's retail deals. So a retail deal would be like where you actually fix it, like you buy it, you fix it, and then you sell it to a retail buyer. That's retail, full price. And then a wholesale, you know what a wholesale is. You buy something at a discount. It used to be buy low, sell high. Now it's buy high, sell higher. And so you put a house under contract and you wholesale it. Wholetail is in between a wholesale and a retail. So if you don't know what a wholesale is, put it in the comments and tell me, and I'll try and explain it. But okay, so a wholesale, you don't actually close on it. You just put something under contract, and you can assign your contract for an assignment fee. That's the original way of wholesaling. And then as fees have gotten bigger in the last few years, if you make more than $5,000, that used to be the rule. If you make more than $5,000, you do a double escrow or a double close, and then you actually take title for about 5 minutes or something. So I don't know if anyone wants me to explain that. So with a wholesale, you actually close on the property and you can take away the scary. Like, let's say I've put roofs on houses before wholetailing them. It used to be even smaller than that. So like, imagine a house is just full of junk, and the house looks really scary because it's full of junk. So you close on it using hard money or private money or even a bank, and you close on the house and then you clean it out. And then anything that's really scary, like if there's a bunch of mold, or if it's missing a toilet, or it's missing a vanity, or if it's missing anything, whatever that big scary thing is, just fix that. Something that you can fix for $1,000, $2,000 or less dollars. Or like, let's say it has really scary trees, or the electricity is not hooked up. Fix that, and then list it on the MLS with professional pictures. And if you have an awesome realtor that will make an awesome description, and you have an awesome photographer that'll take really good HDR photos, you can make a little crap box house look pretty good. And you want to get as many people looking at it as possible, so you'll get as many offers as possible, so you make as much money as possible. So I hope that helps. Another word for wholesale, they used to call it a prehab. Like, you just kind of make it pretty and get it ready for the person that's going to rehab it. Freaking Ben. One sec. This says, what's a good pitch to offer a seller? What's a good pitch? Like, how to buy a house? Like, pitch them how? Like, pitch them on, I don't know. So what comes to my mind whenever I think what is a good way to pitch an offer to a seller? It depends on if they're trying to call you, if they're calling you to get an offer from you, or if you're cold calling them, or if it's just a hard approach. Like, sometimes I go to garage sales and I'll just kind of jokingly say, man, you guys have a lot to sell. Are you guys moving? Is the house for sale? How much for the house? So it's really a conversation. It's kind of case by case. I don't feel like there's a really good script of how to pitch to a seller. But if they call you in, then you go through the normal script of tell me about the house, ask open-ended questions, and then try and find out why are they selling it, and are they in a hurry to sell it, and then find out the basics of how much they owe, and see if there's enough equity in there to afford your services and for you to be able to make a little bit of money. But sometimes you sell a house just to help someone out. Like, I had one house I made $75 on. But to pitch them, you pitch them and say this. Say, I'm an investor and I need to be able to make a profit. And I'm looking for more houses to buy. And like I said at the beginning of this live, I think it's better to be an investor than a wholesaler. Because if you're a wholesaler, I feel like a lot of people get into real estate to kind of like to chase money a little bit. And I did that too when I started it. And it sucks because if you're desperate to buy a house, if you need to buy a house, I feel like they can kind of feel that sometimes. But if you really don't need the deal and you're really there to like see their situation and help them, I feel like it's a lot easier to do the deal because they can feel like you really care about them. You're not just another dude making a bunch of offers. So message me if you want, and I can kind of give you like my script and what I would say to a seller. I'm trying to scroll through this. It's weird because like whenever I click it, it kind of jumps around. I'm trying to scroll all the way down. There's a lot of comments now. One sec. Mer- Is the second? Okay, Ben said, is the second million really easier? um, I think so, Ben. I really do. Because the first 100,000 is the hardest. So me and several people, we came into a big check. However you get it. So for me, I bought a house in 2013. It was a HUD foreclosure in Chisholm Creek, right before they built Topgolf, and I had been looking for a house for 4 months, and I found a house that came on the MLS for $40,000, and because I'd been looking at houses for 4 months, I knew that this is a good deal. So I bid 10,000 over the asking price back in 2013, which was quite a bit, but it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage house on a corner lot, and I ended up winning it, and I sold it 3.5 years later for 112 or 111,500. So I put 9,000 into the remodel, and after everything, I got a check for $47,000, and that really helped me have some seed money to start this business. And then I bought a house from a couple guys for 13,500 in the east side, and the tenant stole the water heater and the vanity and the toilet. I've never had a toilet stolen since then. That was pretty crazy. I guess he needed it more than me. But anyways, I ended up owner financing that house for 25. So I bought a house for 13,500 and I sold it for 25. And then I had another house that I bought for 19,000. And then I sold it for 28,000 on a wholetail, like I was talking about earlier. So I actually bought it with $19,000 cash. I cleaned it out. I fixed the toilet. I got rid of all the trash, took professional pictures, listed on the MLS, and got 28,000 for it. And then I bought a house for like 40,000, and I actually remodeled that one and then sold it for like 60. And then I did another one and another one and another one. You just save your money and keep reinvesting it. Keep the money moving. I always used to tell myself, move the money, move the pieces. I'm trying to scroll down. This thing is really weird. Okay. What? Okay, Alex Moses says, I think so. The first is hard because you've never done it before. The second is easier because of the experience and knowledge you have. You also know what not to do, and that's most important factor in my opinion. Also, I think the second million or second 100,000 would be easier because of the network that you've built, the people that you know, the resources that you've built. Like, if I didn't know all the people that I know, there's no way that I could do the things I do, especially from my cell phone. Just incredible contacts make this so much easier. Good lenders, good title companies, good attorney. I'm really having a hard time scrolling this deal. Okay. What is one thing you would do different now if you were starting over? What is one thing you would do different now if you were starting over? I think I would have done my taxes earlier so that I could get funding faster. And I think that I would have procrastinated less. I would have taken bigger risks with hard money because there are many deals that I knew were deals, but I was just scared, honestly. I think we all have fear. I think I would have maybe kept a job longer so that I could get financing and have stability, because I had some really bad depression in the beginning because I was so broke. Like, there was a time in 2013 when I had $300 and I was like crying in the bank parking lot because I didn't know how I was going to pay my mortgage and all the bills and stuff. So having some stability would be good, and actually being willing to ask for the money, ask lenders, and like whenever you find a good deal, I feel like it's pretty easy to get the money or find a buyer. Um, what is this? Do you want your wifey to be in real estate? Alex. Um, I don't know. I am not dating anyone, but if I did have a wifey, I don't care if she is or isn't in real estate. I just want her to have something that she loves. Doesn't have to be real estate, just something that she's passionate about. If it is real estate, that's even more cool because she could understand, like, hey, had these crazy title issues today, went to this house, and I don't know, she just get it. Okay, Ben says, what's your current bottleneck? Honestly, my current bottleneck is I haven't done my taxes. So I am running out of money. I have 15 or 16 houses under contract and I'm out of money. Like all my cash is accounted for, all my lending is accounted for. I'm just gonna have to ask for more money, I guess, or sell a couple more of these deals to other people. So having good lending, having multiple lenders. I remember Robert Elder told me years ago, he's like, have more than one banker. And kind of like give one to this banker, give one to this banker, and then you always have your main banker. But stay on top of your taxes and bookkeeping. 3 years ago, people told me to get a bookkeeper. I didn't listen. And then I kind of got to that point where I stagnated and procrastinated. And it's almost like it's safer to go bigger. It's safer to make more money and have more overhead. And I had a fear of overhead. And my fear of overhead kept me from going bigger. It kept me from hiring people. So it all goes back to fears. You know, I think that we all have fears that are bottlenecking us and keeping us from being uncomfortable. Sometimes you just want to like lay around or go slower and not have all those responsibilities because it can be really, really, really stressful if you dig yourself a big hole and then you can't just let those people down, right? I mean, you have lenders depending on you. You have title companies depending on you. You have realtors and sellers depending on you. And it's really important that you babysit and make all these deals happen and go through because that's also your reputation to your lenders and your sellers and your title company and your buyers and so my current bottleneck right now is finishing my taxes. But once I finish my taxes and get that lending reopened, I think it's on like Donkey Kong because I'm just going to be buying several a week and selling some to Alex and Brian and trying to keep more rentals this year. I want to get to 20 rentals. I'm at 13 or 14 right now. So not a huge rental goal. I've never really wanted rentals, honestly. I wanted cash and I wanted freedom and I wanted my time back and to not be stressed. So stacking cash makes the stress go away, in my opinion. Let's see. Alex says, just wait until we close on those 7 houses. You'll have some money. Man, you as good as anyone else knows how easy it is to spend 50, 60, or 100 grand. I mean, it goes quick. Doug says, sell me some too. Okay. Yes, sir. On the way. All right. Let's see. What other questions do I have? Someone asked how to pitch sellers. I still feel funny about that question. How do you pitch sellers? I mean, they know that you're an investor and you're trying to buy more properties. So you just go in there and you have a conversation with them. Hi, my name's Jack. I'm a young real estate investor and I'm trying to buy as many as possible while I still have the energy and I'm hungry and I want to buy as many as I can. I want more rentals. I want more flips. I'm just excited to be in this business. Is there any way I can help you? Okay. Jeremy says, how do you get great deals? Well, your network is your net worth. So make incredible friends and sometimes they pass you deals, and also up your ask. Ask more. Jeremy, have I asked you if you had any off-market deals? I mean, I feel like I ask every realtor I talk to and many of my friends, like, hey, do you have anything you're working on right now? Especially newer people because they come across leads that could be incredible deals, but they don't know exactly how to close them or maybe they just haven't asked. Like, hey, I know that you're thinking about selling this in the future, but what if we could sign a one-page purchase agreement and at least get title work started on it? And whenever you guys are ready to move, we can wait 45 days or 60 days, whatever. Let's just get it locked up and start title work on it so we know that there's no problems that are going to pop up later. So ask for the sale. The other secret sauce on how to get great deals is do marketing, and any kind of marketing works. I mean, I really like bandit signs just because I'm loud, and if everyone knows Jack buys houses, and it's a reminder that Jack buys houses, people bring me deals, and people send me deals. Like some of you guys are going to send me deals. I love direct mail. Direct mail is old school. It works. You can go quality or quantity. Quantity would be as many thousands as you can for the cheapest price. Like, so I used to send black and white postcards. I like simple, same as a stamp, black and white, because I can hit, thousands of people for a small amount of money, versus doing letters. Letters are really expensive. But if you're doing quality, like let's say that you hand-picked driving for dollars leads and you only have 50 of them, it's probably worth it for you to hand write them a letter, like actually write them a letter. There was a time whenever I put out a Craigslist ad and I looked for like just people needing a little extra money, and they would come to the library with me and I would pay them 20 cents per letter that they wrote. And it would be a super fast, simple letter. Hi, my name's Jack and I want to buy your house at blank. Please call me at blank. And then they would stuff them in an envelope, and then my job was to stamp them and to keep track of how many they had. And then at the end, I would pay these people 20 cents a letter plus a $5 bonus for every 100. Literally sitting at the library with these people. Let's see. Do you think someone needs a decent amount of money to start with? I mean, the more money you have, the better it is the easier it is to send marketing. Marketing costs money. I feel like there's a bunch of programs and real estate gurus that say you can do this with no money, but I mean, you have to pay your bills, right? Like, you have to pay your bills, and then you have to be able to have time or marketing dollars to do this. And then another thing I feel like is people don't send enough marketing, especially now with how competitive it is. Like, I remember going to the RIA and people are like, yeah, I sent my postcards. Like, how many did you send? And they're like, 55. And I was like, oh no. So if you have a 1% response rate on average on direct mail and you send 55, like, how many phone calls are you going to get? Like, you have to send thousands. Like, more is better. So in 2019, I put out 12,000 and some bandit signs. That cost $2,000 a month. Like, that's a lot of money. And when I started, it was really scary because I didn't have that money in 2012, 2013. And I would have to just buy 500 bandit signs when I could. And I'd put out 100 when I could. And I would send 1,500 postcards when I could. And it's like, you really have to either have a job or sell something. You have to have a side hustle to pay for your marketing. So kind of my philosophy on real estate is there's two things: get your house in order and become a buyer. And then the other thing is study marketing, because especially if you're a wholesaler, you're not really, you're a real estate marketer. And I should say that you're a real estate marketer becoming an investor, because once you actually can start buying rentals and closing these deals and you have bankers and lenders that believe in you, I feel like it's a lot easier because more deals, more houses become deals versus just wholesaling, because like not every deal fits into just wholesaling. Okay. Sean says, what's the secret sauce? Man, the secret sauce is to stay hungry and to have a sense of urgency. And I've watched you do that for a lot of years. And we fall off sometimes for a little while and we get discouraged or we're not super hungry or whatever. But when you stay curious and hungry and like just plugged in, and you surround yourself with people that are also hungry and plugged in, and you watch videos of people that are hungry and plugged in, and just immerse. The secret sauce is to be immersed and not make this something that you're trying to learn how to do, but make it who you are becoming. It's like, I literally used to introduce myself as, hey, my name's Jack and I sell stuff online and I'm trying to get into real estate, or I'm trying to learn wholesaling. But I asked myself, I was like, well, what if I changed the way I talk about myself and said, hey, my name's Jack and I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking to buy more houses. There's a huge difference between I'm a guy trying to learn real estate and hi, I'm an investor and I'm looking to buy more houses, or I'm trying to buy as many houses as I can. What has been your best learning experience deal, says Matthew. Best learning experience deal. I don't know about best, man. I feel like they're all learning experiences. I feel like even today, me and Emily went on a seller appointment and had no idea what to expect. We get there and there's a dude living there and he's like, "Who are you guys?" And I said, "Well, we're here to meet the owner. Are you the owner?" And he's like, "Nah, I live here. I'm the uncle." And we walked in and he's like, "Man, we got rats the size of chihuahuas." I'm gonna put some of these on my story later, like a couple of the videos. But he said it had the seller said it had a new sewer line, and we get to the back and there's a 6-foot deep hole all the way back to the back fence, and you can see the sewer line, and it's not even connected, and it's just kind of like jangly hanging out. And on the phone he's like, "Yeah, and we could lay new concrete and you could change the doorknobs and the cabinet knobs and stuff." And then we get in there and I'm like, "Where's the sink?" And he's like, "Oh, I guess they took it." I mean, I'm just trying to say this house was rough. And then the tenant that was living there was telling us about the rat the size of a chihuahua. And so I guess a good lesson there is trust but verify. Go look at it because one person's "it doesn't need work" could be another person's full remodel. Let's see. Man, they're all good experiences. Like I heard someone else say, go look at 100 houses, because you're gonna learn a little bit from every house. And then we had another deal that we looked at today, and we just walked through it, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to sell it. Like whatever you need to do, we're ready." And it was just super super easy, and there was nothing really there. It was just maintenance. So some are easy, some are really hard. Oh, another lesson I learned was sometimes they won't tell you why they're in trouble. Like I had one that she didn't tell me she was in pre-foreclosure, and I didn't find out until we were halfway through title work. I think she was like probably ashamed or something, but we ended up buying it, and she wanted to take her red sink with her, so we let her. What else we got on here? Who would you want to see a Facebook Live like this with? I don't know. I really like Andrew Cross. I really like that guy's knowledge. I mean, he's just so wise, and he's a deep thinker, and he's been doing this a long time, and I would like to interview him. Maybe we'll do this again next week, and I'll interview Andrew Cross, or if you guys want anyone else to do this, it'd be cool to have someone sitting here, and we can set this out here, and we can interview somebody, and maybe once a week we'll do this and interview somebody. I think that'd be cool. Let's see. Braden says, "It was cool meeting you and talking about the wholesale game, and you are genuine person, and can't wait to see how far we can go." Me too, man. I'm falling in love with the process again, and I'm super excited to see what happens. Someone told me, I guess it was Andrew, he said, "You're one kid away from being a millionaire." And I was like, man, I don't see myself having a kid anytime soon, but maybe if I hire a couple people and send out some marketing and make some commitments, make myself uncomfortable, I won't quit again. So just creating accountability and more reasons to not quit, because once the motivation and the hunger and all that wears off, you're left with discipline and systems. So what does this say? Anyone else have any questions? How do you keep your mindset so positive? Ooh, that's a good one, Rick. How do I keep my mindset so positive? Well, it's not always like this, man. The people that are closest to me know that I really, really go through some deep depression. And it used to be like once a year, and sometimes it's a couple times a year, or when something really rattles me, like something with my mom or family. I don't have like the best relationship. I try to. Or like a breakup with a girl, or like let's say I go on a bender and I drink or smoke too much and I shouldn't, then I really beat myself up, and I'm not so positive during those times. I kind of beat myself up and don't want to answer the phone. And another thing is like I procrastinate and I get behind on things, and I always feel like someone's waiting on me, and I hate that feeling. My biggest fear is letting other people down. So I guess I stay positive with gratitude and just staying around awesome, incredible people that make me love my life. And I genuinely love my life. And I like to have fun. I like to laugh. And I always think to myself that it could always be worse. You know, there's a lot of people out there that don't have their time freedom. They're not able to buy anything they want or to go anywhere they want. My biggest goal in life was to be able to go where I want, when I want, with who I want. And so for the last several years, I've traveled. I've traveled a lot. And I like to travel. I like to have experiences and enjoy the sunset, and to eat food from different countries and try the tea and the coffee and see the differences in the way that people live in different cultures. And I'm just grateful for real estate and that I'm able to be able to do that. So I think gratitude, starting my day with gratitude and just really thinking to myself like, wow, this is so awesome. I'm comfortable. I like my life. I like my friends. I like who I deal with every single day. I like where I live. I live right there, and the pool's right there. I don't know. I like that I get to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, and I make a lot of money doing it. I just get to hang out and buy and sell houses and talk to realtors and lenders and title companies. And sometimes I'll go to the title company and drink a Diet Dr. Pepper and just hang out and give high fives and hugs and just what's most important to you. Chase what's important to you and have more of it. It's like chase your bliss, I guess. And I love people. I love real estate. And so that keeps me positive. And whenever there's a problem, you just do what you can to fix it. And a lot of problems can be solved with just a little bit of money. I always hear Brian Higgins say, it's just money. We can always make more. Oh, your AC went out? Pay for it. You know, like, I don't know, you need a roof? Put a roof on. Tenant yelling at you? Let them cool off and then have a conversation. So there's always someone that... I saw Jimmy Ogle post something. There's a helicopter. I heard Jimmy Ogle posted on his thing, I think yesterday or the day before or something, and he said, someone is praying for your problems, or something like that. Like, what we think is a big problem, like, there's millions of people that would love to trade positions with us. So, I don't know, just really grateful. Helps me stay positive. Alex says, they're coming for you, bro, run. Heart of David, love your vulnerability. I mean, you call it vulnerability, I just call it is what it is. Like, I don't feel like I have anything to really hide. We're all human, we all have fears, we all have things that we're good at and things that we're not good at. And we all have faults and things that we've mistakes that we've made, right? And so, yeah, biggest bottleneck, procrastinating. What else you guys got? Give me some real estate questions. Give me some life questions. Whatever. I'll give this like 6 more minutes. What questions you guys have? Anything? Hope I'm scrolled all the way down. Yeah, we're good. What do you guys got? High quality problems. High quality problems. Yeah, I definitely have first world problems. How do I come up with $168,000 in the next 2 to 3 weeks? Fun problem, right? How do I keep track of all these leads and follow up? And yeah, I love my problems. Ben says, want to grab a beer? Sure. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be drinking. Never mind. Let's grab a lemonade. Matthew says, who's making coffee tomorrow? I am making coffee for tomorrow. I'll make... That's funny. Yep, I'll make coffee. We'll have coffee at 6 a.m. Summer says, super proud of you, man. Thank you, Summer. Proud of you, too. Braden says, what's a good price range to do your first house? I mean, that depends on your resources. I mean, if you have $100,000, then I guess any house under $100,000 would be a good place to do your first house. If you don't own your personal home, I think that's a good place to start, and just live a little bit below your means, in my opinion. Like, if you get pre-approved for $225,000, probably not good to buy a $225,000 house. Maybe get like a $160,000 house, or whatever you need. Don't overdo it, because whatever sacrifice you're willing to make now, I feel like whatever you're able to save by the sacrifice you've made will give you more to invest. Does that make sense? So like, when I first came to Oklahoma City in 2012, 2011, I slept on the floor for 2 years. A lot of people don't know that. I slept on the floor, and I ate chicken thighs from Dollar Tree with 83-cent per pound brown rice, and eggs, and I lived really cheap and really poor, and I saved most of my money because I read all these finance books that were talking about, they're talking about, if you don't drink Starbucks and you save $5 a day and put it in at this interest rate for 40 years, you'll make $1 million. And I learned, well, what if I save $200 and I buy a roll of 20 silver coins and I put them in airtight containers and I sell them for a $5 markup on each one, and I make an extra $400 a month, and then I take that $400 and I go buy a motorcycle and I trade it for a car and sell the car for $1,500, and then I've turned $200 into $2,000, and I turned $2,000 into $20,000, and $20,000 into a house, and a house into another house. I mean, it's just multiplying your money. Instead of thinking of 10% interest rate, think about buy something for $1 and sell it for $2 and doing it over and over and over again. That's how my brain thinks. Sorry if that was really fast and scattered and crazy, but you get the point. Let's see. So good price range to do your first house. I mean, I always like as cheap as possible, but in 2021, it's becoming harder and harder to find cheap houses. I bought a cheap house a week ago for $22,500, but it has no plumbing, it has no electrical. It's rough. And then this morning we got a house under contract in the 20s, and it doesn't have a sewer line or a kitchen sink, and you can see sunlight through the bathroom floor. So cheaper isn't always better, right? Carol says new laws in November. All right, a lot of people have been asking about the laws changing in November. I don't know, I'm kind of stubborn on that, and people keep asking me if I'm going to get licensed, and I really don't want to get licensed. So they're going to make it illegal to market a property that you don't own, I guess, publicly market. And unless you have a real estate license, it's going to be harder to wholesale. Basically, the barrier of entry is raising, and that'll probably be a good thing for a lot of local wholesalers, because it's going to make it harder for out-of-state investors to wholesale in our market, which has become really a big deal in the last 6 to 12 months. More and more and more out-of-state people are wholesaling in our market. So it's probably a good thing and a bad thing. So you can either get licensed or become a buyer. So this is the thing I've circled back to 3 or 4 times now. Don't just be a wholesaler, be an investor. Because I think it's better for you to actually buy a property, close on it, fix it a little bit and sell it and make 20 grand than it is for you to just like wholesale someone's wholesale, or like put a house under contract and maybe sell it and make 3, 4, 5, 10,000. I think you learn a lot more by actually being an investor. And then if you keep it as a rental, the wealthiest people I know have rentals. So anyways, I'm rambling about it, but my point is either get licensed or become an investor. And if you become an investor, which is my plan, I'll hire realtors if I need to. I'll use hard money to close on houses. My plan in November is to just be able to close on the houses. Have a really strong bank, and then multiple little banks, and then hard money for your backup, and close on the houses, cherry pick, and I think there's going to be less buyers whenever that happens, or maybe there'll be less people wholesaling for a little while, and I think we should take advantage of that and buy more houses. That's my idea, at least. So, scrolling down. First wholesale, though. You want to know about my first wholesale, or what is that? Do you have any more silver to sell? Says Doug. No, I'm not selling any more of my silver. I've got a little bit in the safe, maybe 20 or 40 ounces or something, but I'm not real big into silver or gold. There's some people that really believe in it, and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars stashed in gold and silver, and I don't know. I like real estate. I don't have any problem investing 100 grand in real estate. So until I have just millions liquid, I probably won't like invest much in gold, because gold and silver are a really good investment in my opinion, but it's harder to leverage. I love real estate. You can leverage it. You can get loans on it. And then you're not just earning that 10 or 12 or 20% ROI. Your cash on cash return is huge, because sometimes you don't have any cash in the deal, or you only have 2 or 5 or 10,000, and it's just, I don't know. Real estate's the best. That's my opinion. Wholetailing. I'm using a new word. Deborah says, I'm proud of you, little cousin. Thanks. I'm just here. Cool. What other questions do you guys have? I keep saying I'm going to go 6 more minutes, but I'm like, may as well go 8 more and make it an hour. Oksana? Hello. What do you guys want to know? Sometimes I won't know the answer, and that's okay too. I'm scrolling. What else, guys? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? You just want to look at my face? What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Is anyone typing? What real estate meetups are there? Okay. Man, it used to be the first Thursday was the Real Estate Investor Association meeting. I feel like COVID really kind of hurt it, and then I feel like they had a meeting maybe last month or the month before. So the first Thursday is the Real Estate Investor Association meeting. The second Thursday of every month is Millionaire Possibilities. It's off Northwest Expressway. If you message me, I can send you an invite to these, or I can just send you the info on them. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m., me and a bunch of friends go to Couscous Cafe, and we're usually talking about real estate. Every third Saturday of the month is Wholesalers Breakfast at Ingrid's on Young's. And I think that's it for the consistent ones. There's, what is it? Investor Happy Hour at Social Capital on every, I don't know what it is. Ask Jimmy Ogle. It's like the second Tuesday, or I don't know what day it is. There's Investor Happy Hour at Social Capital. And then I like to go to out of state real estate meetings. Like there's one in Dallas in September. We just went to one like a month ago in Dallas, and it was just one day long. And then I fly out to Phoenix at least once a year, sometimes 2 or 3 times a year for anything of Sean Terry's, and then I want to go to a Max Maxwell event. I mean, there's a lot of meetups. There's a lot of meetups, a lot of seminars and events. Just go get around it, because you never know who's going to inspire you, or what you're going to hear that just changes your whole perspective and might excite you. And you have to be careful not to chase rabbits and squirrels and stuff, but also be open to what's new. Like, I think Airbnb and Turo is a really profitable thing, and I feel like it's a whole nother business, but if you do it right, I think there's a lot of money in it. I just got a call on a bandit sign. Whoop whoop. What else, guys? You have any more questions? I just feel like you guys are just watching me breathe. Let's see. I think there's a couple other questions I wrote down. Josh asked, should your first investment be a flip or a rental or something else? I think that depends on your resources. I never really wanted rental properties. Like, the first book I read that a lot of people have read is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then after that, I read Armando Montalongo's Flip and Grow Rich. And this guy was flipping houses, and he was making like $20,000 to $30,000 a piece. And I was only making $25,000 a year at my job. And I was like, man, if I could just flip one house a year, I would be set. And I wasn't even thinking like, wow, what if I did like one a month? I didn't even think that was possible. But I wanted to do flips. I never really wanted to do rentals, but as I've been in this now like 8.5 years, I'm seeing that the most wealthy and well-off people are the ones that bought rental properties. So I think that if you have some cash, I think rentals is probably a better, safer, long-term option, especially if you have like good lending. If you have good lending in place that you could hold something for, years and years and years, rentals. But if you don't have the cash, I think that you should flip or wholesale, learn marketing, and if you have a job that you love, like I've seen some people that were like engineers and then they saved money and put it into real estate, and they did really, really, really well, and eventually they moved to full time. And but if you don't have any money, I think just either keep your job or find a hustle that can sustain your life, and then flip some stuff and put some cash in the bank. Because if you have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 cash and you go to a bank, they're going to be like, okay, well, he's managed his money well, and he knows how to manage it and how to hold it and how to save it and how to invest it. Let's give him a loan. And they might only start you out slow with like $100,000 or something, but build that relationship and they'll give you more and more and more as you grow. So, let's see. Next question was, what are the risks of investing in real estate? I think if you pay too much, that can be risky. I've heard many stories of people paying too much and just getting stuck, or buying the wrong kind of property, like buying a 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a bad neighborhood is probably not a good idea, right? Paying too much and then not being able to get rid of it, or not knowing how much your remodel is going to cost. Like my first flip, I knew that the ARV was over $150,000, but I didn't really know much else, and I think I paid $50,000 or $70,000 for it, and I was just kind of trusting the people that were helping me, and I ran out of money. And it was a huge remodel with like 7 layers of roof and lath and plaster, and I tried to do too big of a remodel, and I ran out of money, and I ended up losing that house, and I had to go back to a full-time job in 2014, and that sucked. So I guess the risk is paying too much, not knowing your numbers, trying to do too big of a remodel when you have no money, trying to do a fire damaged house for your first deal or something like that. So start small, like do a wholesale, buy a rental and get it rented. Do one at a time for your first 1 or 2 or 3. Don't put yourself in a bad spot. So I guess that's the risks in real estate. Getting over leveraged, not having a way to pay back, running out of money. I don't know. Other than that, I think as long as you buy it low enough, even worst case scenario, you could just sell it to me or Alex or someone else that has cash, and just sell it and make a couple grand and take your lesson and move on. But even the deal that I lost money on, I learned a lot from. And there's other people that I've seen complain and feel like they made a bad deal, and I'm like, well, why don't you just sell it? And then they sell it and they make 5 or 10 grand, and I was like, dude, why are you upset? You made money and you got to learn. So as long as you find a deal, I think you're safe. Don't buy stupid houses. Don't ever buy the biggest house in the neighborhood or the smallest house in the neighborhood, because if you have a 432 square foot house, it's not going to be very desirable. So there's condition, location, price, and desirability. There's less desirability for a 4,000 square foot house in a neighborhood where it's 1,500 is the average, or whatever. So, all right, guys, it's been an hour. Does anyone else have any questions before I get off of here? Can't believe it's been an hour already. Can't believe you guys listened to me ramble for an hour. Interesting. All right, well, I guess that's it for the first live. See you guys next week. Thank you so much for your time. You're great. Aw, thanks, Roger. Jose says, fantastic. Keep grinding. Cool. You too, man. Keep grinding. You've really killed it in the last year. Man, super cool to watch everyone grow and to find success. And, man, the weirdest way is cool. Everybody kind of has like their own different path. Some people are doing rentals or Airbnb or some variation. Carol says, what did you pay for your condo? I paid $55,000. I think it was a wholesale deal, and it went out for $59,000, and I ended up buying it for $55,000, and I love it. I love it so much. It's been remodeled in the last 5 or 6 years, and it's 2-bedroom, 800 square feet. The HOA is a little like 175. I love it a lot. Thank you. That was amazing. Great job, buddy. Aw, thanks, guys. Cool. Well, if you guys have any questions or need help with anything, or if you want to sell me a deal or lend me some money, message me. I'll talk to you guys next week. All right. See you guys.